I really wasn't expecting to make another one of these so soon, but thanks to this wonderful comment right here, I haven't been able to get this idea out of my head for weeks. So, once again, here it is. Tales of heroes are as old as time. From Hercules to Superman, these heroes have become a staple of our society for thousands of years now. Their courage and power is something we envy, and the want and desire to live up to the bravery of these heroes is instilled in us from a very young age. They're eye-catching, exciting, but most of all, they're something that everyone understands. The will to be seen as a hero, even to just one person, is something that keeps a lot of us going. For some, though, one isn't enough. The will to be seen by thousands of people as a hero is more precious to them than gold itself. So it really only makes sense that some of these idols we watch on stage decide to play the hero while performing. Buckle your seatbelts, travelers, and get ready for a wild ride. Leading a stage all on one's own can prove to be extremely difficult at times. And yet, from the very first moment Alexis stepped foot on that stage, she has proven time and time again that she is more than capable of doing so. From her action-packed AI concept to her more quirky side seen in Extra, Alexa always brings her all to the stage, and it is always impressive to see. One thing about Alexa that has always really stuck out to me is her posture. You hear people mention all the time about an idol's aura. Something about the way they present themselves on stage gives people a certain feeling when watching them, but with Alexa, it's something you can clearly see. It's almost tangible in a sense. Her shot moves are precise and acted upon with a confidence few possess. She always seems alert, but never tense. In fact, her calm confidence is one of the most intriguing things about her. Her gaze is unwavering, and unlike other idols who are forced to share the spotlight, she refuses to relinquish the camera's attention to anything besides herself, even the dancers creating beautiful formations behind her. She's playful, but very direct, forcing your attention onto her and her alone. Her confidence inflates, but it never shares space with her ego. She's good, and she knows it, but you will never hear those words spoken from her herself. It's something you can see, not something you can hear. One word many have used to describe Alexa, including the girl herself, is powerful. From her stages to her choreographies, even the music itself. Powerful is such a simple word, something many of us use daily likely, yet when tangled up in Alexa's performances, suddenly it has so much more meaning. It's not just powerful, it's damn near overwhelming. She's not asking for attention, she's demanding an audience. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 50, she stays in the same unwavering, intense stance as before. It isn't until the lights dim down and the curtain closes, left in the center of the dark stage, that she lets go of that persona, falling back into herself. Alexa's hero complex gives her the courage needed to let her powerful performance explode on stage. Nothing more and nothing less. Jihyo is the type of hero people look up to. The type that's not afraid to remove her mask and show the world that she's human too, just like the rest of us. She just had the guts to do what others wouldn't. Jihyo has come so far in her career, and I think one of the biggest things that have made her performance better isn't the concept change in and of itself, but the way she was finally able to show off what she'd been working towards for all of these years. Her performance style is refreshing. It looks easy, but dissecting it any more than just the surface level, and you see how much work she has really put into each and every song. She has an easy smile on her face throughout each performance, and you can see just how much she enjoys doing what she does. She's just such an easy yet alluring presence. Happy, fun, carefree, yet very persuasive and impressive all at once. She's capable of commanding a group, yet she oftentimes does so in subtle ways. She knows the other's spotlight as well as she knows her own, and she's willing to propel the others into it if she needs to. Jihyo's ability to adapt to anything and everything is equally as impressive. She has a great sense of music and what fits when and where. Her intensity is always different depending on the song, yet it always works for whatever concept they may be going for. Twice's songs don't usually come off as overly complex or emotionally deep, not that I think they ever try to be, and yet, even with an emotion as simple and grand as love, Jihyo portrays such a broad and undefined emotion brilliantly. She's so much fun to watch because a lot of times she understands what she's doing. It's not just memorizing lyrics or movements, it's expressing them in a way people can see and understand. Her ability to portray these feelings that are so broad and vast in a way that even I can understand as a simple outsider is one of her most impressive qualities. And yet, even with all that she can accomplish on her own, her best qualities lie within Twice themselves. The teamwork these girls have cultivated over the years is one of the reasons their music feels like something only they can do how they do it. All of them seem to have at least one thing they've learned from the others, and many of them have traded and shared certain traits with one another. One of my favorite examples of this, though, is the almost rivalry Jihyo and Momo have going on in some of their performances. These two girls really push each other to give their all, and watching the two of them dance together whenever they get into it is like watching fire dance in another flame. Jihyo's hero complex are the stilts others stand on. She's the type of hero people turn to not only for her bravery, but because they trust in her as well as her abilities. She's the type of hero even other heroes want to be. Stray Kids, as a performance group, in and of itself, is a paradox. I could go on and on about all the different reasons Stray Kids really shouldn't work as a group, and yet do amazingly so. They've always really intrigued me. All of them are good at different things, and not a lot of them actually complement each other all that well. But instead of dimming some members in order to let the others shine, they instead decided to quite literally force people's attention onto one member at a time. Sometimes that means clearing the stage completely in order to let that one member have all the attention, or sometimes it just means stealing the rest of their movements while the other hogs the cameras. They figured out what each and every one of them is good at, and have managed to compile that into their performances. But the only one that seems truly stronger with the rest of them behind him is Chan. Chan's performance style, especially in comparison to the rest of Stray Kids, has always been strikingly simple. He doesn't need a grand entrance like Felix, nor does his performance style stand out like Hyunjin's. Just being there, front and center, is enough of a presence to make people look his way. Wherever he goes, others will follow, marching behind him like an army on their way to battle. He has the strength of 10 men and the courage of 20, a never-ending stream of confidence coming off of him, igniting those around him with it as well. One of the most impressive things about Chan to me is that he is always great at reading the crowd. I would argue he shines the brightest performing with the others behind him, but even alone, he knows how to get people going. He's the type of person you release onto the stage to hype up a performance before it's even begun. He's good with words, but even better with actions. He's attentive, yet caring, and that admirable persona settles into the crowd before the music can even start. Chan might not always have the cleanest moves or impressive facials, but he knows how to lead a team and keep them moving forward, and that is twice as impressive as any performer in my book. I actually really struggled finding a fourth candidate for this video. Not only could I just not find anybody that I think completely fit the mold the other three before it had started, but I also had so many other idols that came close. From Jennie to Haewon, Kangyoon, I even thought about countering what Jihyo and Momo have with EG and Yeju's amazing teamwork, but nothing felt right. And then it struck me. Who else can lead a stage filled with already impressive performers better than Hongjoong himself? Ateez is kind of an interesting group, which I think is part of the reason why it took me so long to look towards them for my predicament. Their concept tends to be a bit darker than some of the others on this list, and unlike Twice and Stray Kids who thrive off of teamwork, all of Ateez are more than capable of leading a performance themselves. But when it comes to who's the best at controlling the mess around them when performing front and center, Hongjoong is the first that comes to mind. Another thing that sets him apart from the rest on this list is that he's a lot more playful than the others. If I were to compare him to actual superheroes, I'd say he reminds me more of Spider-Man or the Flash. He seems like the type to talk circles around the bad guys before actually acting upon them, but in place of mouthy one-liners, he instead uses his actions. He's not afraid to act silly and have fun, but he won't let that distract him from his usual performance either. He's not nearly as serious as the others, and yet he still has the same complex as the rest. Instead of being the cool, calm, collected presence, he flaunts his skills and puts on a show. He's not just confident, he's cocky, and if he wasn't such a talented performer, it would likely be damn near annoying at times. Forget hero, he is a walking god complex on stage, and he doesn't even try to hide it. I said Ateez is different from the others on this list because they don't rely on each other as much as Stray Kids and Twice do, and I think that's another reason why Hongjoong in particular is so different from the rest on this list as well. Hongjoong doesn't lead as much as he tames. The others are just as vicious and overly confident, and yet they're willing to fall in line for just a few beats while Hongjoong takes the center. Some of them can be hard to look away from when they really get into it, yet Hongjoong never has a problem drawing my eyes away from the person from before. He's expressive, charismatic, borderline sassy at times. He has a great delivery, and once he's in character, he rarely breaks out of it. Hongjoong's complex is a lot more visible than the others, but his cocky attitude might just be the best thing about his stages. And that is all the heroes I have for you today. Let me know if there's any other ones that you think fit this mold, or even a new one completely. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed, and as always, I will see you next time, travelers!